Atheist Alliance International podcast.
I don't make this stuff up.
You know, if you put Jesus Christ first, that he'll look after all your bills.
It's not fake, it's faith.
Hello and welcome to the latest edition of the Atheist Alliance International podcast. I'm Jason Sylvester, aka Diogenes of Mayberry. And as always, just as we get started, I'd like to remind everybody to please like and subscribe. And by all means, please leave some comments on some shows you'd like to see in the future. This week, we're joined by Sam. And Sam is an Iranian refugee who's currently in Europe. And she's here to tell us her story about leaving Islam and coming to Europe. So hi, Sam, and thank you for joining us.
Hi, thanks a lot.
Yeah. Okay, so Sam, why don't I'll turn over the floor to you and you just tell us your story. So maybe just start with your life in Iran and what brought you to become an atheist, and then we can get into then moving into your flight.
Yeah. I born in Iran and I born in religious family. And I remember always we must be pray and we must be wear hijab. And after a while, when you grow up, you feel that's not in your life. It's not real. And I had lots of questions about religious and different kind of religious, but always I couldn't find my answer. And because of that, I tried to search about the atheist and search on the YouTube or the Facebook or this kind of website. And that was more helped me than the religious, because I could find my answer. And that was interesting for me. And around 12 years ago, I changed my religious and I become atheist, and I start to activities on Facebook or with my friend, and in this process when you understand about the reality of life, you can accept different things such as politics, such as your government, your country, all of this is kind of shit for you, because always it's come from the religious. And when you're born in the country, it's religious rules. It's fake, and it's not interesting for me. And then I start to activate in politics. I start to work for the atheists, and I join in the feminist group because I had a bad. Sorry, my language is a little bit weak. I try to find the sentence and word. I had a bad experience of the marriage, Islamic marriage, and how it's going in the court, and the people in Iran, when the women's go in the court, it's lots of problem for the women. And that makes me more stronger to help to the other women. And we make the group of the feminists. And another thing is I'm in the group of the orphanage from Afghanistan, because Afghanistan children also, they are so religious country. And for example, in Ramadan, the people must be fast, and my children, they are always hungry because they didn't have enough food, and they must be fast because their mullah told them you must be fast. If you don't fast every day, you must pay money. And I told them, these are shit. You must eat food. If you are living in my orphanage, you must eat food because you must be healthy, and these are shit. And I start to change and help to my children about the idea. And then around 3 years ago, I was in the demonstration from Iran. That was a big demonstration in Iran because of the politics and so many things in Iran. And I was active for 2 days in demonstration. And after that, the police arrested me. More around 12 hours I was in a kind of prison, and kind of raped me, they punished me, and they so behaviors was so bad for me. And after that they let me go if I help them to introduce the people I joined with them. Then after that, I had a visa from France, and I came to France. Then I came to Netherlands. But after a while, I received the paper from the court of Iran, and I had a lawyer in Iran. I asked him to go to the court to talk to the judge. What's the problem? And my lawyer, he went to the court, and he told me the judge is so angry because you must be in Iran, and he said, we know you're atheist, Sam is atheist, and we know she has a lot of activities, because they went to my mom's house and they took all of my stuff, and my books, my notebooks, my laptop, and the other things in my room. And because of that, they could be accessed in my Facebook and my book and my everything I had in Iran. And then my lawyer, he told me, don't back to Iran and wait in the hall, and maybe I could change the result of the court. Maybe I could help you. But the judge gave me 7 years in the prison, and I have to go to the prison for 7 years. This is the first paper of the court for one of my activities about politics. And you know, in Islam, if you come out of your religious, you must be die because of the shit religious. And
So the
yes,
7 years. The 7 years was because of you joined the protest, or the 7 years was because they confiscated your laptop and they found your atheist activities?
Yes. For the atheist activities, you must be die. You know, in Iran, if you come out of your religious, you must be die. And then my lawyer, he told me, don't back to Iran, and go for the process in the asylum. And after a while, the judge, he took my lawyer to the prison, and around 1 year and a half months, he is in the prison also too. And this is really stupid, because my lawyer, he works for the human rights, and he's from Iran and Canada, and he have a passport of Canada, but Canada's government didn't help him, and he is still in the prison. And when he went to the prison, I understand, okay, I can't back to Iran, and it's not possible. And I start to the process of the asylum in the Netherlands, but in the Netherlands, it's not easy to be asylum seeker, to get positive and to have a normal life. And now I'm still waiting for the process, around 2 years.
Okay, so you haven't been granted asylum yet. You're still waiting.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So, and they arrested your lawyer because he was representing you, or they arrested him for other reasons as well? Or you don't know?
Yes, because he was my lawyer, and because he worked for the human rights. And when Iran's government, they don't accept the human's rights, of course, everyone talk about human's rights. They took them to the prison because they don't accept it. We said, yes, we are we work for the human's rights, but only they talk about that. They don't accept it. They don't do it because there isn't any rules of that.
Do you know what he's been charged with?
Sorry?
Do you know what they charged him with to put him in prison?
I heard for the 5 years he must be in the prison.
But did they say why? Like what was how can they arrest and jail him? Like on what grounds? Like what did they use to accuse him? Other than they just represented you.
I heard they took him because for the he was the lawyer of the people from politic activities, and another thing for the human rights. I heard because of that they took him for the prison. Why you was lawyer of the politic people and why you work for the human rights, and because of that I heard, and I know when he's a teacher, he's a master in the university. When he was in the university, the police arrested him, and the police took all of his staff to the police station, and then they put him in the prison. And I know he hadn't any lawyer, and that's it.
Scary. So they can charge you with 7 years, or what's the word? Sentence you to 7 years for demonstrating, and arrest him for representing you. That's quite egregious. So, okay. So you got 7 years for the political demonstration, but the atheism would be a sentence of death. But they haven't passed death. They have not passed a death sentence on you. Just the 7 years.
Yes.
Okay. All right. And do you have a human rights lawyer representing you now in Europe to help plead your case?
Yes, I have a lawyer, but she tried to work hard in my case because it's a little bit big. Because normally in Netherlands or all the country, when you want to go to the process of asylum, you have one case, but I have 3 cases. One of them is Atheist, one of them is a feminist group, and another is my politic activities. And I also in Netherlands have I joined in the group of the politics, and every month we have activities at the demonstration next to Embassy of Iran. But still she works in my case, but because it's a little bit bigger than the normal case, because it's 3 cases in one case. But must be wait, and Netherlands rules is so hard. And I told you, around 2 years I'm in the process, and I have to wait for the court, and the END. It's not easy to give from the END to get positive, and I really don't know what's going on tomorrow for me, because it's not easy, Every day, every rules of the END process is changed, and the people case is different, and it's so hard for me.
Okay. Are you allowed to work? I know in many jurisdictions, asylum seekers can't work, which obviously compounds the problem even more, because you can't earn any money, you can't be self-actualized. So are you allowed to work in Holland, or
No.
Okay. Yeah,
but
seems a little inhuman that countries would do this to people seeking asylum, that deny them the right to even work and make a little money. So, I mean, I can understand the immigration rules, but you would think in an asylum case that they might make some exceptions to allow people to earn some money to live, and to at least feel useful and beneficial, and to benefit and help themselves. So, okay.
Yes, of course. And I in Iran, I was so active, woman, because I was tour manager of travel agency, and I had the orphanage, and I do so many things every day, and I was busy. But in here, you can do nothing, only waiting for the END, waiting, you can't go to a school. They don't let me to go to a school. After positive, you can go. They don't let me to work, and only wait. But I'm lucky because I have a place for the do pottery, because in Iran I do pottery. That was my hobby. And in here I do pottery. That's it. That's all of my life in here, But it's really hard. It's not easy, because full of stress, and because at first I was sure my case is too strong, and because of the lots of things in my case, but they gives me at first pre-negative and then negative, and now I have to wait for the court. It's really, really hard.
So your case was denied by the Dutch immigration, and you're fighting them in court?
Sorry, could you repeat again?
Sorry, so your asylum application was denied by Dutch immigration. So
Yes.
now you're fighting in court to have that overturned.
Yes.
Okay, got it. Okay. Well, I mean, it seems weird that they would deny your application when you already have a prison sentence leveled against you. You would think that they would consider and take something like that into account. That, especially from a theocratic regime that's an Islamic republic that likes to execute people, you would think that should count in your favor. But obviously, we can't speak to the vagaries of bureaucrats all over the world. So bureaucrats in all countries tend to be a little bit. If there's any viewers watching, I'm sorry to insult you, but you tend to be a little bit narrow-minded. So I think people who've dealt with immigration in countries, it's quite a frustrating process. Even more so, obviously, for refugees fleeing persecution. So, okay. And so you mentioned that the judge was angry. So I'm guessing he was angry because he felt impotent that you had fled the country and he couldn't punish you.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Sad. And are they? I've heard in some cases the government will try to threaten you through the family. So has there been any threats against your mother? You said they came to her house. Has she suffered it at all, or?
Yes.
Yeah.
They came to my house in Iran for 2 times, and they tried to scare my mother and my family. Ask your daughter to back to Iran. If she don't back to Iran, we took you to the prison, and it's easy for us. They always try to scare my family, and of course they also scary. And the another things, I think 8 months ago, I was next to the embassy of Iran for the demonstration, and the people of the embassy, they took my photos, and they took my photos in the newspaper of Iran, and they said, the stupid girl in the demonstration, and lots of stupid things they write about me. And my mom called me, and she told me, oh, Sam, I saw your photos in the newspaper of Iran, and they wrote lots of bad things about you and the people next to you in the demonstration. Because in that time, because of the corona, everyone used mask, but I never use masks in demonstration because I have to take photos, and I have a manifest, and I have to talk loud. And because of that, I never use masks in demonstration. And directly they took my photos in the newspaper. And after that, again, police went to my mom's house and then said, you're a stupid girl in demonstration. Ask her to come Iran. She must be back to Iran, and she must be punished. And they told to my parents lots of bad sentence. What is the shit, stupid you born? What is she? And shame on you and your family. Then yes, but these things not makes me hopeless, these things makes me stronger, and these behaviors makes me more angry to directly do what you want to do. But it's not easy, really. It's hard because part of you in Iran, your family, and you must be thinking about them. And now you're in Netherlands and you don't know you get positive or not, what's going on in your future. It's really hard for me, but I'm sure what I want to do, for my future, for my now. But sometimes your hands is up and you can do nothing, but you obey your idea in your mind. It's good, but it's hard.
Right. Yeah, it sounds a bit frustrating. Do you know when your next court hearing is, or they haven't told you yet?
It must be 9th of March, but yesterday, 2 days ago, my lawyer, she called me and told me the judge changed the date. It's 13th of April, and I have to wait for around 5 months. I'm waiting for the courts, and then every month they change it, and but it's my nightmare because every night I dream of the court, I dream of the judge. Sometimes I winner, sometimes I get negative, In my mind, every night I had a court.
Yeah, that must be quite. I must imagine it's taking quite the emotional toll on you. So especially if they keep you had a date coming up in a couple of days, and now it's been pushed out another month. So that can't be fun. So, and have you registered with the UNHCR as well, or you've just applied for asylum within Holland itself?
Sorry, could you repeat again? I couldn't understand.
Have you also applied with the UNHCR, the High Commission for Refugees, or you've only applied for asylum with the Dutch government?
Yes, I only apply for the Dutch government.
Okay. Any reason why you did not approach the UNHCR for help, or it just didn't occur to you? Or
first, I didn't have any idea about the UN, and then when you are in the Holland, at first you must be, because it's a safe country, you must be apply for the Netherlands government, and when you are in safe country, you must be apply in that country. I have no idea about that. Maybe later, if I get again negative, maybe I apply for the UN, but it's not also easy,
right,
especially for Iranian people.
You've now been delayed for a month, so maybe this week you could maybe look up the UNHCR in Holland and approach them. I don't know what help they can offer you, but at least making the application, it couldn't hurt to help your case with the Dutch government, and maybe the UNHCR people can advocate on your behalf as well.
Yes.
I'm not exactly sure what roles they all do, but obviously, I mean, they're there, so maybe they can help you. So maybe you can look into it this week and see if they can help you.
I hope they can help me, but the Europe government rules is different, because if you apply, I heard about that. If you apply for the UN, they said, okay, now you are in the Europe, and Europe is safe country, but it depends on the Europe country, they accept you or not. And now I apply in the Netherlands, and I have no idea about the UN. Maybe if I get again negative from the court and the higher court, maybe I must be apply for the UN. But this is the long process, 2 years I'm here, and I don't know for the future what's going on.
Yeah, I can't imagine it's been easy for you. So does the pottery help? At least gives you something to focus on and get out of your head, and just focus on the pottery. And any other hobbies, or just mainly the pottery?
Yes, exactly. Only do pottery.
Okay, well, I can understand how that at least gives you some outlet. So okay, so if the court turns you down in April, can you appeal within Holland, or you would have to leave Holland and go to another country, or you don't know that situation yet?
If they give me negative, I have to complain for the higher court. And in the higher court, we must be wait for the higher court. And if again I get negative, they couldn't back me to Iran, because they know Iran is not safe country, of course, for me. And maybe I have to again open another case, or maybe I have to change my country to another country. But it's not easy, because when you go for the asylum seeker from the one country, you must be wait for the 17 months to make another asylum seeker process in another country. It's not easy to okay, now I get negative, go to for example, France or Italy to make another asylum seekers. You must be wait for 70 months. And this is your life. Every day pass. It's not easy for me, really. And I don't want to imagine of that, because it's really hard. And I'm not young to waste my life, waste my time, and I have a lots of plan for future. But if it happen, I have to wait. Oh, it's look like kind of present for me. I'm in the free country, but I can do nothing, and it's not easy. Really, it's hard. But I hope in the court I go to have a positive. I hope. But I really don't know what's going on.
I hope you get it as well. So please, by all means, please let AAI know the status of your case so that we can follow along, and we can share with our followers that hey, Sam has been successful, because I'm sure the people who follow our page are going to be rooting for you as well. So.
Of course, I will tell you if that could happen. If not could happen, I don't
pray for you for a good outcome. Yeah. Okay. Great. Okay. Well, thanks for coming on, Sam, and sharing your story with us. I would encourage our viewers. In many cases, at the end of our podcast, I invite you to like and subscribe. In this case, I'd like to go one step further. I would like to invite you to please donate to AAI, because Sam is the perfect case of where your donations go, that we can send money for legal fees, even some money just for living expenses. Obviously, we can't help everybody. We don't have the resources to help all of the people who come to AAI looking for help. But in a case like Sam's, you can see she's been a refugee for 2 years. This is an illustrative case of where your money can go to help her with living and to help her with her legal fees. So by all means, I do please like and subscribe, but please also consider joining AAI, consider making a donation, and we'll see that money gets to helping the people that do indeed need it. So again, please dig deep if you can, even if it's just a little bit, but please help us to help people like Sam. So again, Sam, thank you for coming on the show, and we will definitely, when you get a result of your case, we will share it with our viewers. So thank you for being strong, and for fighting what you believe in, and for trying to make a better life for yourself. So.
You're welcome, and thank you for inviting me, and thank you for you and your people to listen my story. Really, thank you very much.
Yeah, I hope we've touched people today listening to your story. So, okay, great. So thanks for coming on, and we invite everybody, please check us out, as we'll have more speakers in the coming weeks. And that wraps up this week's episode. So again, please like and subscribe, and we'll see everybody on the next episode. Bye-bye now.
Bye.
Okay, thanks for listening, and don't forget we're on YouTube, so follow us on YouTube. Just search for Atheist Alliance International, and please subscribe and hit that notification bell. We're also on all of your favourite podcast platforms, so make sure that you follow us on there as well. See you next time.